It is the agenda for the 21st century you're living in today. For a brave new world where everything that you cherished and held true will no longer exist.
The devastation in Haiti, where the death toll has now risen to 108 people. The government reports at least 350,000 people are in need of assistance.
Devastation left in Matthew's path.
Homes have been destroyed by the fierce winds, and floods are adding to the misery.
The eye wall could make landfall at 145 miles per hour.
If you're watching and you're in an evacuation area, get out. Don't take a chance. Time is running out. This is clearly going to either have a direct hit or come right along our coast, and we're going to have hurricane force winds. There are no excuses. You need to leave. If you're reluctant to evacuate, just think of all the people this storm has already killed. You and your family could be among these numbers if you don't take this seriously.
The message from Florida's Governor Rick Scott is clear. Matthew is a killer storm.
There's 1.5 million people in the state who've been told that they have to evacuate.
Boarding up, stocking up, and moving out. Millions from the Sunshine State to the Carolinas race to get out of the way as Hurricane Matthew inches closer and closer to the U.S.
Several counties issuing a curfew. There are really two main concerns. With this new wind burst knocking down trees, knocking down power lines, there are power lines down. There's concern about the water and the power lines together. And second, a concern about looting. You have 1.5 million people who've been told to evacuate, many leaving their homes behind. There's real concern in several counties about the possibility of using this tragedy as a means for looting. They want to make sure it doesn't happen. So for two reasons, a curfew in effect at 10 o'clock for several counties across Florida.
Florida now under a federal state of emergency.
The worst hurricane to slam Florida in more than a decade.
This is downtown Lake Wales, and it is a ghost town.
Millions of residents in the southeast head for higher ground. Mass evacuations are underway, mostly in Florida, but also from coastal areas in Georgia and South Carolina.
Meanwhile, South Carolina is also expected to begin feeling the effects of this storm by tomorrow night. People there are doing this, boarding up windows, putting out sandbags, all in an effort to prepare for the worst. Roughly 500,000 people have been ordered to evacuate.
But this is the website now for NOAA, nhc.noaa.gov. This web page is not available. It has been this way for about 45 minutes now. Don't know why. We believe it operates out of Coral Gables, Florida, which is near Miami.
Now to South Korea, where Typhoon Chaba slammed across the country's south, leaving 7 people dead and another 3 missing. The violent storm caused severe flooding in the port of Busan, the country's second largest city, and the industrial city of Ulsan.
ما فازم بيجي سلامي لما Evita el teléfono.
Wow.
I wish you could hear the sound. There's millions of these buggers. Look at them.
That is gorgeous. But what is making the sun rays like that? It's like something's blocking it. That is really neat.
We want to warn you, it's disturbing to look at these two people who appear passed out in the middle of a sidewalk. No one seemed to help them, only watch in disgust. This sad spectacle, showing a zombie-like man and woman slumped over in weird positions, was streamed live on Facebook to allegedly show the dangerous effects of heroin use, the poster explained.
We were able to save 1,004 people, mostly of Eritrean and Nigerian nationality. 16 women were pregnant, some of them in the 9th month. 3 women gave birth on the ship thanks to the sanitary team on board. So we went from 1,004 to 1,007. 2 baby boys and 1 baby girl have joined us during the voyage to Catania.
A new report revealing an additional 215 veterans actually died while they were waiting for appointments at the Phoenix VA.
It's pretty obvious. The clerk obviously hears the commotion and goes to the door to see what's going on, and there's the attacker. He's asked if he's Muslim. He doesn't answer, and the attack begins. The knife actually bends when he takes the second swipe at him, because of where he hit him.
Unsettling clown sightings have been reported across America. Clowns have reportedly tried to lure women and children into the woods, chased people with knives, and yelled at others in cars. Some communities have stepped up police patrols, and a number of people have been arrested for making false reports of clown threats or chasing people while costumed.
Creepy clowns continue to cause mayhem across the nation. This recent craze first sparked fears in South Carolina, where people in clown outfits were allegedly trying to lure children into the woods. Now, more than 24 states have experienced some sort of unusual clown sighting.
I've read about it in some of the news coverage.
The creepy clown craze has even reached the White House. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest acknowledged that law enforcement is taking the threat of clowns seriously. Police are looking for a person dressed as a clown who allegedly tried to grab a woman's 1-year-old daughter at a bus stop in California. In Alabama, at least 7 people face felony charges of making a terrorist threat connected to clown-related activity.
44 Afghan troops that were brought to the U.S. to be trained by our military have actually taken advantage of it and gone missing while here in the U.S.
Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for an attack that killed 6 people in northeast Kenya.
40 Turkish-backed Syrian militants have been killed at the Turkey-Syria border. Islamic State claimed responsibility for the explosion at the Atama crossing in Idlib province, saying a suicide bomber blew up his explosive-laden car at a rebel position.
ISIS, with preparations underway to retake Mosul, Iraq's second-largest city and the last major stronghold of the Islamic State in that country. Mosul is about 250 miles to the north of Baghdad.
Meanwhile, in the Syrian city of Aleppo, a hotel bombing hosting international journalists and humanitarian staff has been hit by a mortar.
Syria has announced it will reduce the number of airstrikes and artillery attacks on opposition headquarters in the besieged city of Aleppo. 270 people have been killed in Aleppo since Damascus launched an all-out assault to recapture the city 2 weeks ago.
What is FEMA? Simply put, it is the secret government. This agency has the powers and the authority to go well beyond any other agency in the nation. What can FEMA do? It can suspend laws. It can move entire populations. It can arrest and detain citizens without a warrant and can hold them without a trial. It can seize property, food supplies, and transportation systems. And it can even suspend the Constitution of the United States. When the first concept has been presented, its original mission was to assure the survivability of the United States government in an event of a nuclear attack.
Well, it looks like they're threatening body bags. Yes, an all-out war now being questioned between Russia and the United States. According to Sputnik News, yes, U.S. State Department spokesman John Kirby has now come out and made some pretty strong statements regarding Russia's involvement in Syria. Now, as we just reported, the top brass is concerned about setting up a new fly zone because that would require going to war. Well, this sharp rhetoric is not helping matters either. They claim that if Russia will not cooperate with the United States, Moscow will keep sending troops home in body bags.